Thank you, Lindsay. Matthew, would you like to begin?
Thank you everybody for hanging around. It's a late night. So I'll start off and ask everybody in the room this question. What is your natural instinct to do with something you love? I think we can all agree and find some common ground. You want to defend it, protect it, and try to preserve it. Well, that's what I'm doing. I love Montgomery County, but I especially love East Montgomery County. And so, as an 8th generation Texan, which puts my namesake somewhere around here around the Texas Revolution, that Texas spirit in me is fired up. I see the growth, I see the challenge, I feel the call for leadership, and we're in a bind over in East Montgomery County, and I'm wanting to heed the call. I'm forward thinking, and I want to put that forward thinking to use with how we're planning our drainage, our mobility, for you, for me, for my kids, your grandkids, and our families. Thank you.
Okay, for those of you who just saw me do a thumbs up, I was not giving him a thumbs up for what you were saying. No, I wasn't. We are 1 minute off the schedule that I wrote down earlier. We are 1 minute off.
Each morning when I awake, I look up and thank the Lord for the many blessings that He's bestowed upon me and my family that I have not earned or that I deserve. And I also ask Him for His guidance in the decisions that I make as Commissioner because they affect the lives of so many people. I am James Metz. I am a lifelong resident of Montgomery County. I served as Justice of the Peace for 16 years, and I've served as Commissioner here for the past 3. When I arrived on scene, it was somewhat disarray. Much of the equipment that we had over there was beyond its service life and spent more time in the shop than it did out in the field working. Our road bond projects from the 2015 road bonds were basically at a standstill. I immediately went to work with the stakeholders, with the county attorney's office and the right-of-way acquisition folks and others and engineering firms to move those forward. I can say now that all those projects are moving along in a timely manner. Some of them are nearing completion.
Okay, Matthew, what in your professional background would make you the best person to be the commissioner in Precinct 4?
That would be my entire background, ma'am. So, one of my favorite presidents is Mr. Roosevelt. And one of his sayings was, live a strenuous life. And that's a life I've lived, constantly challenging myself in every season of my life, whether it be high school, college, my professional career, or even now. I'm always striving to do better, and I'll continue to do that. I challenge myself every day to be a better man, to be a better father, to be a better East Montgomery County resident, and I challenge the people around me just as hard. And you can ask anyone around me or anybody that knows me or worked with me, and they'll tell you the same thing. Some of my professional background after I graduated from Sam Houston State, which I might add before I went to Sam, I was a New Caney High School graduate. I'm from New Caney. I started off in oil and gas. I could have easily went into a white collar job and started trying to work the management route from that way, but that's not how you lead. I went and took the entry level position after finishing school, so I could work my way up and have those men's respect when I got to that management position that I did get to, where I was managing drilling rigs and budgets and the projects around the world in every major region of the world where we produce oil and gas. So on top of that, I'll compound. I managed maintenance departments of 62 men in technical capacities, kept rigs running, very detailed and challenging budgets, AFEs, and since retiring from oil and gas, I'm the project manager over Humble ISD. I sit on a bond advisory committee. I deal with government procurement, public funds, and I keep the schools running, over 53 buildings. So started my master's in construction science, and I've got a project PMP, which is a project management professional accreditation. So if you know anything about that, you know the thousands of man hours just devoted to that alone in projects. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Metz.
I believe that what makes me qualified not only serving as commissioner for the past 3 years, but also 30 years as a business owner in heavy construction and roads and drainage, and also extensive experience in working natural disasters such as hurricanes and floods and ice storms, all in the southeast in a number of states, and working for counties and rebuilding efforts for those folks over there. I brought that experience to the commissioner's office and working on drainage and mobility over there. We drain places over there that no commissioner's ever drained before. It is a challenge with the Imelda rain event, especially where we had $15 million worth of road and bridge damage with zero help from the government. But it's like eating that elephant one bite at a time. That's what we're doing over there with this drainage, and we'll continue to do that in my next term. We have brought many new projects to Precinct 4. In my term, we brought a driver's license office over there, sorely needed. Improved our parks departments, adding ball fields, brought a splash pad over there that brought wonderful, where parents and grandparents can spend quality time with their children. I've worked hard for the past 19 years in public service to bring about a better quality of life and a brighter future for all the people in Montgomery County, but especially Precinct 4.
Mr. Metz, the next question is also for you. Mr. Metz, as we asked earlier commissioners candidates, what do you think, other than roads, will be the most important issue facing Precinct 4 over the next term?
Well, I think drainage will continue to be an issue over there, and we'll continue to work hard. We've applied for, with the GLO of Texas, a $34 million grant to work on desnagging operations, not dredging, but desnagging operations, Peach Creek, Caney Creek, and White Oak Creek, and part of the East Forks, as well as a bridge to go over Roman Forest. That was a $19.4 million grant that we're applying for. And beyond that, law enforcement. You see the rising crime rates down in Harris County. You don't see that here. And that's because of the great law enforcement that we have here, from the district attorneys, the sheriff's department, our constables. We love our law enforcement here in Montgomery County, and you don't have strong law enforcement without your commissioners court working together to give them the tools that they need to do their job. Every member of this court, the judge and the 4 commissioners, are strongly supportive of law enforcement, and you must have that to have the type of society that we all enjoy here in Montgomery County. They're outstanding. So proud to be a part of it.
Same question. What do you think will be, I have a little cut. What do you think will be the most important issue other than roads?
Well, other than roads, I've got to agree with Mr. Metz, the drainage. The drainage is a huge issue. But not only drainage, that's compounded by the growth. There are more energy hookups in East Montgomery County than the entire state of Arkansas. That's scary. That's a lot of people moving in. And with that being said, let me tell you this. We take for granted, and we have taken for granted for a very long time, how conservative Montgomery County is. So be mindful, folks. Keep a wary eye out, because there's a lot of people moving in, and they're not moving here from Beaumont or from Livingston. So I commend everybody who's stepping up to run. Pay close attention to your school boards and your local government, because it's important. The drainage, I don't see the long-term plan for the drainage. There's so much development, and I'm coming with a plan. My title in my previous career was a corporate planning leader. I run projects around the world, and we've got to have a drainage plan. Now, this isn't proactive, but it's reactive. With the amount of development that we have, we can see the permits and see where we need to go, make sure it's draining around those areas and around those developments to take care of those people and those citizens who've lived there for generations and for years. Because right now, it rains. You don't know where it's going to flood out over in East Montgomery County, but it's going to flood. You can bet on that. So drainage, the growth, the mobility. I know you said besides roads, but mobility is a huge issue. We have got some serious backup around the schools. I want to use this position in the leadership to work with other leadership in the county, school superintendents, school boards. I want to involve them in my bond process for the roads. I want to be involved in their school bond processes. The left hand has to work with the right hand for community planning folks, and I'm bringing the leadership. Thank you.
Okay, you can go ahead and do your concluding remarks now. You get to talk some more.
Yeah, thank you. Go for it. All right. Well, I'm critical of the job. I'm not critical of the man. So, me and James are one of the few races when you see when we're out, we're always kind of cutting up and elbowing each other and shaking hands. And I can appreciate that. And
So are you?
I'm an East Montgomery County native, folks. I love it. My family's been there for a very, very long time. I'm raising my 4 children there with my wife Amanda and I. I'm very involved with the youth there. We coach baseball. I've been there, and all I want to do is make it better and sustain it and steer this growth. I just feel the need to see the call and feel the need to step up and lead, and we just got to manage it. There's a lot of people coming in. There's a lot of changes taking place. And I'd appreciate it if you tell your friends, tell your family to get educated on the issues and consider voting for me. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Metz.
It is an honor and privilege to serve as Commissioner of Precinct 4. My background experience, as I stated earlier, qualifies me to do that. I have assembled the best team that I think you can assemble over there in upper management to assist me. And I also have some of the most outstanding operators, and they're very hard to come by. We have some of the best around. We put this team together in place, and we are doing an outstanding job over there. That's not coming from me, that's coming from the people that we hear, and the others that are professionals in this industry appreciate the efforts that we have made and continue to make. When not much was done before I arrived on scene, we started behind, but we're working hard to catch up. Drainage will continue to be an issue. We'll continue to work on that extensively daily. And I have given 110%, and I will continue to do that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you.
I want to thank all of you for coming tonight and sticking with us. We did end right on schedule. I like to keep things on time. Please go out and vote. Early voting just starts in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Election day is March 1st.